Russia has just deployed a new weapon in its war against Ukraine. It's called the UMPB-5, a guided glide bomb dropped by Sukhoi Su-34 fighter jets, and this could mark a major shift in how Russia wages war from the sky. According to Ukrainian authorities, Russia has begun testing the UMPB-5 bomb over the past 2 months, using it in multiple strikes, including in Ukraine's Sumy region and more recently in Kharkiv on July 24th and 25th. One of those strikes reportedly hit a hospital. The bomb was dropped from a Su-34 fighter jet approximately 65 miles away from Russia's Belgorod region. The UMPB-5 is believed to be a more powerful derivative of a previous glide bomb, the UMPB-D30SN, first seen in early 2024. That earlier model had a range of over 50 miles and a warhead weighing about 550 pounds, 2.5 times heavier than its predecessor.
UMPB-5 is a new ammunition that the Russians began using about 2 months ago. They are currently testing it, and the exact characteristics are not known for certain.
Besides, Russia is also reportedly working on new low-cost air-launched cruise missiles, such as the S-8000 Banderol. Unlike traditional weapons, these can be launched from remotely piloted aircraft, pushing the concept of long-distance, low-risk warfare even further. Before the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, Moscow largely underestimated how many guided munitions, especially glide bombs, it would need. At that time, Russian glide bombs were relatively expensive and used sparingly. But that changed quickly. Russia's failure to eliminate Ukraine's air defenses in the early stages of the war forced a strategic shift. Develop cheaper, long-range weapons that could be deployed en masse without putting Russian pilots in direct danger. The result? A sharp increase in the use of standoff munitions like the UMPK, the Universal Gliding and Correction Module, which converts standard dumb bombs into precision-guided glide bombs. Originally seen with the Fab 500, the UMPK has now been adapted for use with various bomb sizes. In fact, in July 2025 alone, Ukraine reported that Russia dropped an average of 160 glide bombs per day, 8 times more than it was using in the spring of 2023. According to John Hardy, Deputy Director of the Russia Program at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, the UMPB-5 reflects a broader Russian effort to build a large inventory of cheap, effective standoff weapons.
Moscow is using a new UMPB-5 guided glide bomb, which appears to be a more powerful derivative of a bomb introduced last year, reflecting the Russian Air Force's efforts to develop a growing variety of cheap standoff guided munitions.
While these munitions may not offer pinpoint accuracy compared to more expensive Western equivalents, they do allow Russia to sustain a high operational tempo without relying heavily on more vulnerable air assets. At this stage, the UMPB-5 is just the latest in a series of innovations aimed at overcoming the limits of Russia's initial war strategy. With each new weapon, Moscow is adapting, turning towards scalable, cost-effective options that can be produced and deployed at high volume. But the question remains, how will Ukraine and its allies respond to a new wave of standoff weapons? And what happens if these tests evolve into mass production? For now, the UMPB-5 is still shrouded in some mystery. But one thing is clear, Russia's aerial arsenal is growing not just in power, but in numbers.